Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us across the globe. Also, depending on what time you get to watch this video. How are you doing, guys? And by the way, if you've not subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting for. Kama ni firimbi ulikuwa unangoja, ndio hiyo, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And to our subscribers, thank you so much. Now, on today's topic. Now, when we talk about a typical modern home, what does it consist of? I know. Let me guess. A mom, a dad, kids, right? Or a child. Well, let's just be honest. In today's world, we have seen a surge of single parent homes, and not just single parent home, but single parent households than we previously had, right? And many kids now are being raised by single parents who rely on them for support, love, and everything. Right? So today we're talking about single parent, and let me introduce the guest. Today, she's a very beautiful human, and she's a fashion designer. She is a business lady. She is a single mom of 2 boys. But let's just introduce Joy Njiro. Karibu sana.
Kumenipaka rangi.
Kwa nini? Ona vile unakaa, marangi umepigwa.
Yeah, nilijinusha jipaka luku mwenyewe.
Luku ni safi.
Yeah, sawa. My name is Joy. I'm a single mom. I work in a telco, an 8-hour job. I also own a fashion line. It's called Fuse It. Fuse It.
Yeah.
Fused It. Yeah, and I have 2 boys. Yeah.
Well, there's so many reasons why someone will be a single parent. Let's talk maybe divorce. Let's talk maybe a parent doesn't want to be responsible, so they are unavailable. There are also reasons as maybe they are sick. Maybe they have gone mental and they cannot be able to support this child. So what is your story looking like?
At 21 years old, I met this guy, and I was in college then, just about to finish up my college, and we met and we fell in love, and we just started a humble relationship then. Then, of course, we did have issues in between our relationship, but after 1 year, I got pregnant, and we did not really decide to get married or do anything together, like anything official together. We just decided to raise our kids. My son, technically at that time I had one child. So we co-parented, and we raised my son, and later on along the way I got pregnant a second time. And this time we still decided to, of course, raise the kids. And I don't think we were at the place where we needed to get married or just make it official. And it was only wise for us at that time to just have a co-parenting plan on how we can be able to raise our kids.
So
together.
you guys are you together that time?
Yes.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah,
so you're
were
cohabiting
in a relationship.
as well?
Yes,
right.
Yes, we were in a relationship. So it was tough even for my parents, because my mom helped me with my first child. And the second time, of course, I already got the experience that my mom had already taken me through my first child. So I was able to raise my second child. So at the point, when my second born was, 4 months, I just could not take it anymore, because I was not in a relationship that was really healthy for me. I was going through so much. People really did.
The society?
No.
Okay. Just take your time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't really shared my story publicly.
Yeah.
So
Sorry. but you can go through it. Like, it's your story, you're owning it, and I'm so glad you get to share it with someone, because at the end of the day, there's so many people that are watching this now and they're thinking, my God, I can't leave this relationship because my life depends on it, because there's financial value that comes in a relationship. What happens when I can move out of this relationship, as much as it's toxic, and raise now these kids that now, what will I give them? Where do I start? They're looking at you as a point of hope. Yeah.
So I was not in a good environment. Okay. That's what I can say. And it was a journey. I was young. I was naive. Yeah. And this is where my mind was focused on. So despite whatever decisions he made, I was my thought process was to be a humble person.
Yeah.
To be a humble woman to this man, to just be a wife. Exactly. Yeah. To submit to this person. And that is how I lived my life then. And it's not something that I actually told my parents. Like, if I went through any painful process, be it battering, be it being kicked out of the house, be it so many things.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them. So for me, it was something that I had to keep to myself, because you see, when we were already dating, they were already judging him. And there's that sense of protecting this man you love, you know? So you're like, I don't care what you people tell me. My friends were there for me. I had sung how many times we've broken up, we've gotten back together, how much. But you see, I don't necessarily currently judge anyone who comes to say that they're in this relationship. I will not question them. Why are you still there? Mm-hmm. Because you need to go through a specific process for you to actually understand that whatever you're going through is not healthy. And at that time, that was me. So whatever my friends told me, or whatever, well, my parents didn't know, so there was nothing really they could tell me. So I just let it go. So it went on, and finally I just put my foot down. And I was really slender at some point. My second born is the one who gave me alinipatia mwili. Like, people could look at me and ask me if I was sick. And I remember a place I was working, my boss was also questioning me, like, are you okay? Are you sure you're fine? So it's not something that I could really tell my colleagues, not something I could really tell. Only my closest friends could understand. And they could come visit me and see how I am doing, and that's about it. Yeah. So when my son was 4 months, I decided this was just enough. I'm an option to this man. I'm a choice. I'm not the one that he actually wants. I'm not the one that he respects. I remember some very painful word he told me that,
sorry.
You know, words are very powerful.
Very.
So when you instill specific painful words into a human being, that word will stick in their mind. Yes. And I never ever forgot that. He just told me that I would love to get you chocolates and flowers, but you don't deserve them. And it was so painful to me. Like, we were going through this process whereby we didn't even have money, but I had a job, and my 25,000 shillings job is what was managing our home.
He wasn't working?
At that time, not really, like, not so much business, because he was a businessman, not so much business was coming in at that specific time.
Okay.
So I never ever stood up to him. I always respected him. I always protected him for so many years, even after I ended the relationship. So when my son was 4 months, my second born, I decided that I was not going to go through all that pain anymore.
What did he do that warranted your decision to say this is the end? Like I've had
It was
it up
just
to here.
continuous pain. I remember the last time he laid hands on me, I fought back. I fought back and just told him, I'm tired. I'm not doing this anymore. Take whatever you want, leave, and just go. But young as I was, I still forgave him. Even after that, I still held on to something like probably he's going to change. And that is the one thing that us women really usually hope for in a man, instead of trying to read the signals and understand what's currently, just be awake and aware about what's happening.
Yeah, I was reading something that said that the minute you get into a relationship, that the relationship bit, the dating bit, that's when a man can change if he wants to. That's when a lady can change if they want to.
Yeah.
But as soon as you enter a marriage kind of setting, the marriage thing is already done with the stages of metamorphosis, whether it's from pupa to the larvae stage to the butterfly. It's already done with that. But you see, you're already in a setting where this man is abusing you, but you still don't leave because you're hopeful that they'll change. What will you tell kwanza a woman right now who's saying bintaombea bwanangu? Because we say that all the time.
Yeah, that's true, because I've also had a friend of mine go through the same process, but she was married and she's a Christian. She stayed in the relationship and she's prayed for the guy and prayed for him and hoping that things are going to change. They've been to church together and everything. Yes, at some point it depends with the situation of the relationship and what the journey has been. And for me, it was a hope that I held on so much because I knew that he actually did love me. But the one thing that I did not understand is that he doesn't respect me enough to make me his own, like to just even talk to me nicely or something of the sort, you know? Like I needed to work so hard for his attention.
And still you didn't get it.
And I rarely get it so much, you know? Even if I got it, those were the moments that I actually cherished more than the painful times. Yes. And you don't really have to be in a relationship and trying to pray for them. It's okay to hope that it's going to work out, but there has to be a time when it's just enough. That you just don't have to stay in that relationship if it's not working, if you're not happy. I don't understand the concept where people tell me, because I remember someone asked me, mbona ungekaa alafu ndio mlee watoto, mko na watoto tayari? I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm never ever in my life going to do that, because health starts with me. If I don't take care of myself, my children are not going to be well taken care of. And they're going to see the pain that I'm going through, and it's going to affect them. There's always a process of trying to transition your children to try and understand the change. It's hard, but there's therapy, and you can still talk to them and still work with them and just try to make them understand that it didn't work, but we love you. Your parents love you if both parents are present. If it's just a single parent, just one parent, and the other one is just for some reason or is not available, then just show them the love that they need to have. Love them as you're the mother, you're the father. If you have a manly figure in your home, then probably they can talk
to the father figure.
Exactly.
And at 4 months, when you decided, okay, let me leave this is not meant for me and I don't want to embrace it. How old was your older child?
He was just almost 2
so
years.
So it didn't
because they have a
understand.
2-year difference.
Okay, so they didn't understand what was happening.
No.
So as they were growing, do you still co-parent with this man?
No.
You don't.
I do everything by myself.
But I can imagine your sons go to school and they see the setting that has been put in our hands to be ideally, this is what a nuclear family should look like. And he's seeing dads dropping the other pupils and he comes to you. The first time he asked about his dad, what did you tell him?
First of all, my youngest, the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old, really loved his father a lot. I remember when every time his father dropped him off, when they just left somewhere or something, he could cry and scream for him and just call him out, you know. But I think as he grew, it just got off his mind. And he does not remember, he has no recollection of that time ever happening.
Yeah.
But of course, as they went to school, of course, they are taught the family setup like you've mentioned.
Yeah.
And then it was really painful for me, for my son to just come home and then tell me that kids are making fun of him because he does not have a dad, you know. And I told him, you have a father. It doesn't matter that he's not here, he's alive.
Yeah.
Okay? But you have a father.
Yeah.
We just do not live with him. We are just you, me, and your brother. That's it. Okay?
Oh,
so
yeah.
do not let anyone make fun of you. Just let them know that you have a father, because that is the argument here from the other kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was raised by my grandfather, and not even my mom or even my dad. Actually, I've never met my real dad.
Oh.
And honestly, I never felt like I ever missed anything, because the father figures for me was my grandfather and my uncles. I never felt the need to want to fill a certain void in my life. I was just feeling okay. My mom was there, but she was not there. I don't know if you understand.
Yeah,
I know it does make sense.
You know it so
But,
much.
yeah.
Okay.
So your boys are here.
Yeah.
But now you have to work twice as hard, you know, to make sure you put a plate on their table.
Yes.
Please take us through how an ordinary day in a Joy home looks like.
Okay. Let me just start from the back.
Okay.
There's like,
Yes.
when we've changed houses, we've moved since then.
All right.
Just once though. But previously, I used to get help from my parents.
Yeah.
Kasi kiisha, sina pesa ya chakula, I just call up my dad or my mom, mostly my dad, and just explain to him that this has happened. Sometimes he would even pay for me rent in advance, so that when I get my salary now, I just fill it in. So now the problem starts when, for parents, the most difficult time is when a child starts school, because that's where the money is in. You just, a lot of expenses goes into school fees. And when my kid started schooling, the firstborn, it was manageable. I really wanted to take him to baby class, but I couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So you see, most kids go to school at 3 years. My son went to school late, so he went at 4 years. And that's when I was taking him now to the main school, baby class, then go to PP and all that. And then, so it was really a big struggle for me with the school fees and trying to still pay the house help and still get food and everything. So as time went by, I got a better job.
Okay.
And then at least now I was able to decide I do not want to get assistance from my dad. But I was also still struggling. Now my second-born now starts school.
Yeah.
So I decided I really wanted to have something on the side that will actually bring me more money, more income, to just pay the school fees and manage my finances at home. So I jumbled up a lot of things. I can't even tell you. I don't know what I have not done. Nimeuza shisha. I've gone to a nightclub somewhere in the hood and asked them if I can sell shisha. Nimeuza shisha. Nimeuza sausage kwa ofisi.
Yeah.
You know, like small things to just help me get the money. So as what time went by, I realized I just need something bigger. I need to think big.
Yeah.
I stopped thinking small time, pesa ndogo ndogo shilingi moja. It's still business and it works for people. But in my concept and my work, having an 8-hour job, it will not sustain me.
Yeah.
So that's when I started now doing my fashion. Yeah. And I just started with three t-shirts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so 3 friends.
Wow.
3 friends. I took their photos, I made t-shirts, and then I made another sample of hoodies. So I was my mom introduced me to Ankara at a very young age because
wow.
she used to make for me clothes, and she was also a tailor.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked up the tailoring business.
Yeah.
So I thought, since I love fashion and I love dressing up, maybe this is something that I would actually start doing.
Yeah.
So with the 3 t-shirts, I went ahead, do the hoodies, and then someone asked me, can you do dresses? Then that time I'd hired a fundi, so I asked her, can you do it? I was like, yeah. Started dresses, pole pole, just nikaendelea tu. So doing t-shirts, printing t-shirts, doing outfits, and now making it, you know, as time goes by, even in your business, you get to grow and you get to have more experience. Nikasumbuana na mafundi, of course, just like any other person.
Fundis wote, hakuna story.
Yes. But gradually, I've been able to have a sustainable tailors and printers.
Oh, wow.
So like most of the time, even if I'm working, I may not necessarily have to be there. I'll just give them the instructions unless I am needed. Yeah, so they can actually do it. So now I can be able to do my job and still do the fashion line. It's still growing. It's growing.
I mean, someone said until we adopt the mind of excellence, we will always wallow in mediocrity. And clearly you've curtailed the mediocrity.
Me. I wanted to become the Anyango Mpinga. Then I'd already started Ania already. And I really wanted to be great, be in the papers, be like all over social media, but it doesn't work that way. You have to start from the bottom. You have to toil. You have to learn the process of becoming a better person. Even your mind also grows, and your perception of doing small time things grows. Your niche even grows, so now you have to think bigger. So I've had it for 6 years now, and I'm at a good place. I'm not in a rush. My time will come.
You're trusting the process.
I'm trusting totally the process. So,
I'm so sorry that I have to keep making you relive these moments, but at the end of the day, these are conversations we cannot avoid. So it's been how long since you left? That's almost 13 years since you left this relationship. Has this man ever called you?
We have met probably like 3 times. It's actually bumping into it. It's a small world.
Very clearly.
So we've bumped into each other severally. And every time I try to bring something up in terms of taking care of the kids, I remember the first time when I told him that I would like for him to please help me take care of the kids, but we can't be together. I don't know. I probably didn't sink into his mind then, but later on, that's when he realized it, and he refused. He was like, "I will only take care of my kids
if you're in the house."
No, when they're with me in my house.
What? And you as well?
No. Of course, that is what he wanted.
But it's just using other words.
Yes. So he wants the kids when they're in his house. That is when he will take care of them. You know what? I don't have to go through this. I'll just do it myself. Then I bumped into him again, and he started helping out. Kidogo kidogo, I'm telling him the needs that my kids has. I don't know if he thought the money is mine or something, you know, because that is my world. Mboga itaisha, nitaka pesa. My kid will want something, nataka pesa. He will do shopping, yes, but something else will just crop up, you know, like school fees. My son is having his birthday. Do you think we can like do something for him? He goes quiet, and that's the process. And then we just stop talking. So the last time I engaged him, it was okay. For the first time ever, I was able to open up to him and tell him that you really hurt me. And he was sorry for it. But he still later on aliniongelesha vibaya, just like he used to talk to me badly, you know. So this time I fought back, and I was already a different person. So what I mean, I just shut him. I was like, you need to respect me, don't treat me like a child, you know. So being an independent man, he doesn't like, that's my thought. He didn't like a woman akimjibu back, you know.
But that's not an independent man, that's a narcissist, because at the end of the day, we will always disagree in how we view things, because we have different minds. How I process things is different from how you process things. I don't understand why you would think that provision of whatever the kids' provision is, why do you feel it's pegged on me and you being together? You know, at the end of the day, the kids need to eat, you know, kids need to wear clothes, kids need a place to stay, kids need to go to school. So what do you do? Why do you feel like for you to help, actually, like it's pegged on you being together with this woman?
Yeah, exactly. And I felt really good having stood up to him and just told him whatever
you feel like
I wanted.
You have your power.
Yes. But you see, all those happy times that we had, because of course I wasn't very unhappy the whole time we were together for that long. I just can't remember the happy times, because all those painful times
overshadowed.
Yes. And that's the thing, because you'll try to think of something. A friend of mine tried to ask me something about him, and I told him I don't really remember, because I've already camouflaged myself with trying to protect myself from the pain that I was feeling then. And he doesn't even know. If he knows, I don't know. But I've never really opened up to him. I've never really talked like this to him. And told him what exactly he did to me, and just make him understand that that night you kicked me out of the house. This is what happened to me, where I had to look for somewhere to sleep.
Where did you sleep? I'm sorry.
I went at a petrol station. There was a restaurant.
I'm sorry.
They saw me because it was late and they were just about to close down. And they asked me if I'm okay. I told them, yeah. But I told them I've been kicked out. So that time I was sleeping in at his place. I've been kicked out, and tumekosana, because I just didn't want to give so much explanation to them, because this is a personal issue. Yeah. And they gave me, because it's a Somali restaurant, they gave me camel tea. It was bad.
Camel tea.
So bad. I don't take milk, first of all, so I felt like throwing up. Just pass me the tissue.
Yes.
I felt like throwing up. So they also gave me fries. The fries were also horrible.
Yeah. But you just wanted something to ingest.
Black.
Yeah.
So it was horrible. But I was so grateful for how they were taking care of me. Then one son of theirs, I don't know, a relative, I don't know. Somalis are big families.
Yes,
and it's
they
a family
do.
business. So one guy came on at the table and then talked to them, and then they were speaking Somali, so I couldn't really understand. So he told him to, if he knows, from what I know, my thought process, he asked him if he knew somewhere I can lay my head, like somewhere I can sleep. So he asked me if it's okay for me to go with him. He takes me somewhere I can sleep. Imagine trusting a stranger I just met. I don't know them, and then we're passing through the dark. It's at night. It's almost midnight. And passing through some dark places, and then he takes me to a motel somewhere. Unajua ile place unapeleka klande nyuma ya club. That's where I was taken. And that's what I didn't even sleep. And he asked me. Then we got there, he paid for the room. I had left with a SIM card and 500 bob. That's like 500 bob is all I had. Mbele nyuma. And I don't know what, I was hoping I would get a phone somewhere. So that's why I carried my SIM card, because he took my phone. Or I didn't have a phone, so the phone he gave me, he just took it, you know. So I just tried to sleep. But then this guy also comes to the room. And this is something that I never ever told him. Then God. He stands there and is like, okay. Then he's expecting me to pay him back. I told him, I'm a married woman. That's the excuse I had to give him. I told him I'm a married woman, and he didn't care. He was like, okay, fine. If you're not going to sleep with me,
get out.
Then pay me my money.
Oh, God.
So, I don't know. I just thank God that day I had 500 on me. So we go upstairs. I told him, I was very confident, and I told him, okay, let's go. Went upstairs, paid the 500, the 300, I don't know, 300 bob. I think that's what was the cost of the room then. And I gave it to him. I asked for change and I gave it to him. Then he left. But it's a club, it has noise. Upon the maklando analetwa. And I didn't feel safe. I had to lock my room. Yeah. Mosquitoes, of course. Nikatakin neti, but honestly, I couldn't even sleep. And that time, my son was breastfeeding. Oh, yeah. So I'm thinking, atalalaje, is he going to cry? What's going to happen to him? So what I decided was, I was going to go back home the next morning and just apologize for nothing I have done.
Your home, you mean with your ex?
Yes. Not like we lived together. It was just my home then. So I went back. Then I knelt down. I just asked him to forgive me. I waited for him to wake up. So I was seated at the back of the house. So I waited for him to wake up. I apologized to him and I told him, I'm sorry for whatever I have done. Because I can't tell him what it is I have done.
Yeah.
And my life was too limited to even my friends, even my male friends. I couldn't even talk to them, I couldn't.
Why? He didn't allow you to? Okay.
He would suspect something going on.
Oh, okay.
As much as I've never ever cheated on him. And he'd never ever believed me on that. So I just asked for forgiveness and I stayed. I was assured as long as my son is fine, then it's okay. I will take the rest.
So for how long did you stay there before you then...
No, it was just a visit.
Okay.
It was just a visit, then went back to my other house. So we just lived in 2 different houses. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So for how long did you keep living apart even though you were still together?
Just the whole of our relationship.
Oh.
Yeah, just the whole of our relationship. I got pregnant and this is something that I really was waiting for him to do, to now come to my parents. Yeah. Yes. And always, an excuse always came up. It's like, no, I don't think this is the right time. These parents who don't even approve of me, so let's just wait. Of course, now we had to raise my son.
Yeah. But then did you meet his parents?
No, I didn't.
You didn't meet his parents?
No, and actually did, but she did not know who I was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she didn't know who I was.
So she still doesn't know that she does have grandkids?
I don't think so. I don't know. I really don't know if she knows or not, but I doubt she does. So we split up and we don't really talk much. I chose peace.
Yeah.
I chose peace. I tried to sue him at some point, and we just couldn't figure out where to find him. Well, I knew where he lived, but I didn't know the house number, and the place is very secure, so you just can't go in. Yeah. So the officer with the suit, tried to call him and talk to him and just tell him. And I think I needed now to hire a PI as per my lawyer. Yeah. And I was... It's too much. Will I pay a PI or am I going to pay school fees? Yeah. So I just let it go and just choose to be peaceful.
So if he ever came back to you right now and apologized and wanted you to go back together, would you do it?
It's been too many years. I've grown.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't regret everything I went through. It was painful, but trust you me, the moment I got my first child, I grew up.
Yeah.
And it was an experience for me in every single mistake that I did.
Okay.
And I just became mature at that specific period of my life. And going into any other relationship that I got into after that, I still grew. Another one after that, I also still grew. Yeah. True. I take it as an experience as much as it was painful to me. Yeah.
But the society, there's a way it shuns women that are single parents and always comes up with all these labels of, you know, being a man snatcher and all these labels that they give the women that go through this, even though it's not their choice. Even those that their partners have died, they still come up with these labels. Did it ever happen to you?
Just repeat that again.
Like the society always has labels for single women, and they always come up with all these things about why are they like this and da 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 da. Did you ever face that, like hands on? Never.
I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm tough, but I've had people talking about my relationship with this guy and what really happened, but they don't understand the whole story. They have not been in my shoes to actually understand how naive and young I was, the choices that I made, and whatever. He was aware of what choices that he had wanted. He was aware that he knew that probably we would not be together, or probably we would, but it was already too late for me, that I'd already moved on by the time he had probably wanted it to happen or something of the sort. But I really don't put an ear to what they say. If they want to assume things about my relationship, let them. It doesn't bring unga on my table. So I just don't listen to what people have to say. My decisions are my decisions. And if I come across a tough decision that I have to make, I have family. I have my family
as your support system.
And I have my friends that I can also talk to and just explain to them what's happening to me and what has happened to me, and so I can try and make a sober decision about the choices I'm about to do.
But did you ever attend therapy to just want to make peace with your past?
I just have.
You just by talking about it?
I just did. You know, one of my best friends was actually telling me that when I was telling you, there's a question that he asked me about it and asked me if I remember a specific thing that he asked me, but I couldn't remember because I just had the pain. He told me at some point, I think I will have to see a therapist for me to actually get out all the pain that I have been carried for. I've been carrying for all these years. Because I really don't talk about it. And you know, this is the first time I'm actually tearing up about it. I've cried about it in the back, behind my doors, you know, but
never on a public forum.
I've never really thought of sharing it because I always felt like people are going to judge me.
But you're here now. And I've been your therapist for the day.
Thank
Can
you,
I send my
Dr.
invoice? Thank you so much, like, you know, for this, because honestly, you're helping so many women. But looking at it, and in your own opinion, since when you're kwa ground, what would you say is the most challenging thing about being a single parent?
I would say it's the finances. That's the very number one thing, probably. But for any single parent who's well off and doing okay by themselves, it could probably be the standards that you raise your kids. Because teenage is a nightmare.
I can imagine.
Teenage is a nightmare. So as kids grow, people will give you opinions on how you're parenting your child and everything. But you just have to be confident with yourself and just see what best suits your kid. They're not their kids. It's your child. You give birth to this kid and you live with this kid and you understand what it is that you guys are, the relationship that you have. But the most important thing, there was a phase in my life where I was not listening to my children. And just because I was really busy with my life, I'm always in, I'm always out, just everywhere, I had to stop. Because it was affecting my son.
How did you know you were not doing it?
Tantrums in school. My kid was marked as a notorious child.
Because he wanted attention.
Yes, he really wanted attention then. And we had to change schools. We had to move. And I had also to change my house help then. I used to have my aunt living with us. I had to let her go. And I wanted to do this by myself.
You were intentional.
It was a whole change for
Overhaul.
me. Yes. And right now, I cannot trade that time to the relationship that we currently have. I'm trying to make sure that they grow up being responsible and just to know that this life, it's as much as you want to have the knowledge, you also need to have the skill
Yeah.
for you to actually make it in life. So whatever skills they have, maybe it's video editing. If it's gaming, let them be good gamers.
Yeah.
Let them be the topmost
Yeah.
best gamers.
Be
you
the
know?
best.
Yeah, but let them just embrace their passion. I
Okay.
wouldn't want to take my kids into something that they don't really want and push them to.
We were having that discussion today.
Really?
Right here. Yeah, we were talking about how we're doing different things. Like
Yeah.
whatever we are doing is not actually what we went to school for.
That is very true,
Yeah.
though, because I also wanted to be a flight attendant.
See?
Then my parents are like, nah, I think you should be a secretary. So go do
Imagine.
secretarial. And I'm thinking, I just keep doing this. No, no. I can't. Yeah. I would get tired. Yeah, because that's a job and people are good at it.
Yeah,
And
but
anyone
not for
who
you.
went, and did the course and did that, that's okay. That's for them, but not me. Yeah.
But what would
So-
you say is the most rewarding thing about being a single parent?
It's just the joy of seeing my kids grow up to be the best people I would want them to be. And just, I pat myself on the back every single day, seeing the efforts that I have done and how far I have come in raising my kids. And it's tough being a single parent, but it gets better. Yeah. So as long as I have my business, it's doing okay and all that, and my kids are in school, they're doing amazing in school, and it doesn't really affect them health-wise. They are fine, and that's all for me. I just want to see my kids happy, and because I wake up, I toil for them. Yeah, I just want them to have a better future than I did, and I want them to become better men and better people when they grow up. Yeah, so I would not want them to go through the same experience that I have, or someone else's daughter to go through the same experiences that I've gone through.
So let's talk about the void of not having a dad. I mean, we cannot avoid the fact that they will feel like there's something that they're missing in between. So how do you make it up for them, considering that the society, or even the society judges you, even them when they're grown, all of us are broken at some point. Like I imagine there are so many people that I've talked to every now and then, and they'll say, I am the way like this because my mom used to beat, my dad was beating my mom all this time. So I don't care. Either they go to the extremes of, I don't care, they don't respect women, they'll beat them because my mom was beaten. The other one will be like, no, I saw the anguish my mom went through, and I don't want to put a woman's child through that. So they choose their battles. So what do you do to make sure they don't, you feel that void somehow?
Well, I do have manly figures in my house. It's my dad and my sister's boyfriend, because they hang around their niece and nephew a lot. We technically just brothers and sisters with my sister's kids, and sometimes when it comes to a conversation that I think needs someone different other than their mother to talk to them about, then I will just ask them to talk to them. If it's something that I feel my dad can handle better or my mom can handle better, because she's raised us and I have a brother, so she knows how to be able to handle such issues better than me, who's a first-time parent, and just explaining to them the situation and all, then I have them. Yeah, I don't really bring in any friends to talk to them, because they don't have that relationship. They haven't created that relationship with them yet. And it will not be the right place for me to explain to them, because really? Like, who are you? What do you want? Sure. You're not my dad, Yeah, but they respect our family a lot. Yeah, so I will only try to bring up a conversation that I think I can, but I'll just pose probably questions to them to just try and understand where a specific issue is coming from. If it's something that I need to address, I'll just tell them. But I prefer conversations, and that is what I have with them,
Thank you so
a
much
conversation.
Yes, because that is very, very, very important. But now, Joy, you're very beautiful. You're eloquent. You are everything a man would want in a woman. And of course, you have your voice and you know how to use it. And you look very beautiful and, well endowed. So let's talk about dating. So do you have any rules when it comes to dating? I'm sure you've dated someone before. Yeah.
I have. And well, if it's about my children,
Yeah.
I don't really introduce my kids as this is my boyfriend. I have never done that. I really haven't. Because relationships that I've had have not been that long for me. They don't
materialize.
Yes, I don't really have to introduce them. And I would have to be sure and very protective of the decisions that I'm making. And I make a man understand that even if you and I are together, it's just not me you're dating. You're dating the three of us.
Yeah.
My children have to be involved in your plan. Don't just assume that you're going to take me out for a date every other night that you want to think about, and I will not have my kids involved. Like, you're not going to think about them. You're not going to do anything about the situation. You need to be aware that I will choose my kids first before I will choose you. Yeah. Yes. Wow. So, yeah, I have dated and they have respected that much. Yeah. But it's also not easy as a single parent getting someone who will really appreciate that and respect that. Wengi wanataka tu kukua tu na wewe. This just wants the sexual bit of you. Yeah. And the rest doesn't really materialize or just doesn't happen. Yeah. So I'm aware about it. Yeah. Yes. So I choose not to.
But do you look at marriage in the future?
I am not so sure. Well, yes, the experience plus also the other relationships I've had have really changed my aspect of being in a relationship. Because at some point I've stayed for 5 years alone, not dating anyone, But it's something that I would have to just probably see if it happens, it happens, Nana. I don't really want to rush it. Yeah, I just want to, I love my life as it is right now. And I just want to take it a day at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so if it happens, it will happen. Yeah, God's plan is better than my plan. Absolutely. So let it happen at its own time. So right now, I focus on growing my business and raising my children.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that, Joy. But I just want you to talk to a single parent somewhere that is scared of taking the bigger step to, I think it pains more when you actually let go. So kindly just talk to someone right now that is listening to you and watching you, that whatever, just advise them.
Okay. So I know there are different kind of parents, and there are those who are well off, there are those who are in middle class, and there are those who struggle day to day from hand to mouth. Yes. And your children are your future. Your children are the ones that make you get up every morning to take care of them. And you should not lose hope. Just take a day at a time and choose you and choose your children. You're the most powerful person to your children. They see you as their superhero. And just take that a day at a time so that you can just better yourself and just see that they're happy. Let them become better children. Let them become better adults and take care of you also. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for sharing your story, man. Guys, I hope you learned something. And I'm going to quote a quote that I saw somewhere and I felt it really did resonate with me. I'm going to read it. A child is going to remember who was there, not what was spent on them. Kids outgrow a toy and outfits, but they never outgrow time and love. That is all that we have today. Hapo ndio nasikia drop mic. But guys, if you have any product that does resonate with what we do here, please kindly talk to us. And if you have any topic that you feel you need and we need to address it, kindly just comment below. And up until next time, please kindly, please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, share, comment. And from me, enjoy. It's love. Goodbye.